very fortunate today to be at K&R Studios, and that is Kat and Ron, who are the owners of K&R Studios out here in Dawsonville in the woods. And we have a special treat today because Kat is going to share with us, Kat and Ron, they're both going to share with us their wood turning business. And Kat, tell me, how long have you been turning wood?
I've been turning for about 8 years on and off. I have a lot of other interests, so it's not a full-time hobby for me, but I
Right.
really do enjoy it.
Oh, great. That's wonderful. Can you share with us some of the pieces that you've done in the past?
Absolutely. My favorite thing to do is miniatures as well as embellishments.
Right.
And as a part of the embellishments, Ron many times will turn an item and then I'll embellish upon it. It's called collaborating at its best. This happens to be a marquetry piece. It's veneer that is turned, or I'm sorry, the object is turned, which is a lidded box, and then Ron hands it over to me, and I add veneer, which is 0.004,
Wow.
and they dye the veneer various colors, and it's cut out of with an X-Acto knife or a surgical knife.
Oh, okay.
So
And when you say 0.004, what does that mean?
means that the veneer is extremely thin.
Okay.
And it sounds like it would be easy to cut with an X-Acto knife or a surgical knife,
Right.
but depending on which way the grain of the wood is going, it could be difficult or it could be easy.
And then the paint fills in.
No, that's actually, this is all wood.
Oh, there's all wood. So the
That's
green is
complete
a green colored wood?
Yes.
It's a dyed veneer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you can look real careful, you can see there's a thin layer of wood on top of there, and that's
Right.
the veneer.
Wow. Beautiful. Let the audience have a look at this. See how fine that is.
And even the little red dots on the flip-flops were cut out of veneer.
See the red dots on the flip-flops. Just perfect.
The next one I'm going to share with you is called polymer clay,
Right.
and this happens to be a lidded box
Another
also.
lidded box.
And this particular one has flowers as well as leaves on it.
Right.
And as you can see that it's raised. Polymer clay, it comes in a variety of colors, and it's like the rainbow, you can create any color you want.
That's right.
On this particular one, this is called a sphere. It is a wood-turned ball, and then it was covered with polymer clay and baked in an oven at 375 degrees. Not your home oven, it's a special oven, it's like a craft oven. It does give off chemical, so if it were to burn, you need to leave the room, open the windows. But you can see we have many different flowers on here.
Wow.
Also, a little butterfly was created out of the polymer clay, and the little stand which the sphere sits in.
Just beautiful. Let the
Thank you.
audience see this. Gorgeous piece of work. So this is raised right here, the flowers and the leaves. You can feel it. And then we've got the ball, the wooden ball. That's gorgeous.
The next item I'd like to share with you is a form of staining and painting. And this one happens to be airbrushed. And various colors were added to it. This is wood-burned items on here. It had natural cracks after Ron had turned it. And so that I embellished it with, you can see the cracks. They have been embellished with wood burning. And then it's been colored after that, or painted with the airbrush.
So the natural crack with the embellishment and your little holes that you've poked into it
Yeah, we're wood burned.
makes this beautiful piece of wood look like metal.
Yeah. Looks like it
That's
came
the
that way.
effect.
Yes, absolutely.
Look how beautiful this is.
It's transforming a piece of wood that possibly would have gone to the burn pile.
Yes.
I believe that's cherry.
No, that's a piece of cedar.
Cedar? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was cherry because of the top rim.
No, it's cedar.
So I must say, this couple is just so smart in making lemonade out of lemons.
You're much too kind, John.
Now this platter's a single piece of maple, hard maple, and then Kat takes a pig. We paint it black, and then Kat takes a pigment, and then with an air gun, she blows it around. It's what they call a cloud illusion.
A cloud illusion. The beautiful purple and bluish green colors here. And this wood is
It's maple.
maple.
Mm-hmm. Just hard maple.
I'm sure when you have your guests come for dinner and you serve them fruits on this dish, or whatever you may serve on this dish, it's certainly a talking piece, a masterpiece.
Yes, the community of people that deal with these, doll houses,
Right.
they're very much interested in these things. And if we took these to a dollhouse show, these wouldn't be on the table more than 10 minutes before somebody would have bought all of them.
These particular ones are made up, cut from nuts,
All nuts.
all different kinds of nuts.
Some of them are wood, but
Very few.
a lot of them are palm nuts.
Look how beautiful this color is. The colors here.
Yeah, that was
on this
actually a
little
nut.
piece. Miniature jar.
And then I also deal with other little miniatures. This happens to be a mortar and pestle.
Mm-hmm. So give a closer look to the audience, for the audience.
That's a rice bowl
Yeah.
and sake.
So for your miniature collectors, they would get excited to see this.
Yes, yes. That's a Japanese rice bowl, by the way, versus the Chinese rice bowl is a little bit different.
Yeah, the Chinese rice bowls are a little wider.
Mm-hmm.
The Japanese ones are a little deeper.
And they have the foot on the bottom as well.
Yeah,
Oops, sorry.
that's all right.
That's right.
It's not glued in.
And John, if you'd reach over to the other side there's some pieces that really, this piece has not been embellished. This is a piece of Norfolk Island pine. And these trees grow down in Florida and in the Hawaiian Islands. We can't get this wood up here unless you drive down to Florida to get it. So anytime we can get a piece of this, we grab it up. And every piece of Norfolk Island pine that I've ever turned is sold at the first time it hits the shelves. This is, matter of fact, this is the last piece of Norfolk Island pine I have.
So the knots, I understand, Ron, are actually branches?
Yeah, that's where the branches came out of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
How beautiful. That's gorgeous.
The oldest Norfolk Island pine is located in Hawaii. It's 170 feet tall, and it's considered never to be cut down.
So, why is it called Norfolk? Is it from?
It's from, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whoever
From
Lord-
that
Lord
part of
Norfolk-
England.
Whoever Lord Norfolk was
New
named the tree
question.
after himself, I guess. This is a piece of walnut from here in Georgia, and it had a crack in it, so I put these.
There's the crack.
What I call the butterflies, in it to basically enhance the crack. If I tried to sell this without the butterflies, you go, oh, that piece has got a crack in it. I said, well, yes, it does. Well, now it's got a crack that's been embellished, and it makes it more valuable.
Again, turning lemons into lemonade. But how beautiful is this? Not only does it hold the crack, it just creates a beautiful design with these butterflies. Just gorgeous. And this oak, is it?
Walnut.
Walnut.
This walnut is glazed. Beautiful gloss. There we go.
And one of the other things that I do in addition to embellishments is I like to make jewelry out of wood. And this happens to be a pendant with some pattern on it. Here's also another necklace that I was made. This happens to be marquetry, cut with the veneer.
It's beautiful. So if anybody out there, or if you're into surfing and you want to have a nice piece of jewelry on your neck while you're surfing or just wearing around, this is just gorgeous. How much does something like this go for?
Well,
Go ahead.
around $25.
And generally,
And it's really light. It's a light piece of wood jewelry.
And the price sometimes depends on the rarity of the wood. That happens to be a piece of rosewood.
Right.
But we make them out of, native woods that we get here in Georgia.
and they'll sell for $20 versus a more precious wood goes a little bit higher.
Right.
Yeah.
So if anybody's loving these pieces, do give Ron and Kat a call. You can give them a call at, what's the phone number, Ron?
706
706
531
531
4676.
4676, and you can ask questions, order any pieces you'd like. And if you're in the area in Dawsonville, that's North Georgia, they're at the Big Canoe Event Festival. And what date is that, Ron?
That'll be coming up April 26th and 27th. That's a Friday and Saturday at the Big Canoe Chapel. There's no charge for the public. There'll be about 35 different vendors there, and it's all handmade stuff. It's no store-bought stuff allowed. It's a juried show. Only handmade items are allowed to be in the show. It's an annual event up there, and the money that's raised by the chapel organizers all goes to charity. Of course, the vendors, keep what they sell. But it's a big event. It's usually a good turnout every year, and it's a nice time up in the Georgia mountains because it's a beautiful area. If you've never been to Big Canoe, you need to come up just to see Big Canoe.
Yes, so please do. And we want to thank Ron and Kat today and for their hard work at creating these lovely masterpieces. And they're just beautiful pieces of art. And we want to thank you for joining us today, and do give this lovely couple a call if you are interested. It was great to visit your beautiful house in the woods. I hope to come back soon.
Door's always open, John.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Kat.
Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
John.
Thank you, Ron.
Yes.
And that's a wrap.
We hope.